Hi friends, and welcome to a very special program. If you're a frequent flyer, then you probably already know that Miss T and I travel all over North America, in fact all over the world, and we get to meet some extraordinary people, go on some wonderful adventures with them. But trust me when I tell you, our lifestyle does come at a price. Many times the hardest part of what we do is getting in the truck and leaving our friends and family behind. Well, not this time. This time we're taking them with us. We're actually going to have 4 of our 6 adult children, namely Nick and Erica Lilly, along with Chris and Aaron Peterman, and all 4 of our grandchildren, Ian and Kai and Kyle Jr. and Katie Bear, and together with a bunch of our friends, Ryan and Valerie Hopkins and their 2 kids, Livia and Cole, and we're going to have Brad and Sue Morgan with us, along with 2 of their adult children, Jeremy and Missy, and 2 of their grandkids, JJ and Alexis. Now together, this whole group is going up to Nakina, where we're going to fly into Asnagami Lodge and fish with Eric and Sue Lund and their 2 youngsters, Liam and Rowan. Friends, this is going to be a trip like no other. Hey, I'm your host, Kyle Randall. This is my Wilderness Journal, and we're headed north with a whole bunch of youngsters for a little thing I like to refer to as herding cats. At the appointed time, the troops were rallied and marshaled on the float plane base. The gear was loaded onto the planes, preparations had been made, plans were put in place, the invasion had begun.
All right, here we go, guys.
Well, it must have seemed a little like an invasion. All of these youngsters, all of these first-timers, apprehensive, loading onto those float planes, looking around. If you think back, if you're an old-timer like myself, this part of the trip is mundane now. It's something that's just part of the deal. But for a first-timer, especially a youngster, crawling up into a plane that's sitting on the water and then watching the pilot, who's like 3 feet in front of you, fire it up and take you out across the lake. This is truly the beginning of your adventure. And fortunately for our adventure, my friend Greg Bergeron and all his crew at Nakina Air Service did a tremendous job, as they always do, loading those planes and flying us the short hop into Asnagami Lodge. And I gotta admit, it kind of made me smile inside when all the kids cheered as the floats from our plane touched down on the lake. That's what I'm talking about, folks. This is exciting stuff. And I kind of feel like you're sort of cheating yourself if you overlook this or any other part of a great trip, especially one where you get to sit right next to your loved ones, to your friends and family, and watch the look on their face as a plane goes flying straight at the water. And once the last of our 3 planes had made a picture-perfect landing onto the lake and motored up to the dock, we started reversing the process. Everybody got unloaded, all of the gear got put off. It was truly great to be back at Asnagami, and the reason I talk about this, friends, is you really should cherish every moment of a trip like this. Much too soon this would all be over, and all we'd have to take home with us would be the memories we made in these 3 short days. And as we had just those 3 days, we hurriedly thanked everybody for their wonderful help, got everything off the plane and into the boats. We were going fishing. I think I should point out that it doesn't normally look like this when you go out onto Asnagami fishing. It doesn't look like an invading armada all running for the same place. This lake is huge. Over 14 miles long, 9 miles wide, 200 plus islands. We're talking 160,000 plus square acres. If you don't want to see another boat during your whole trip, you don't have to. I was the one that asked everyone to stick together that first day, mostly for my benefit. And fortunately, it didn't make any difference. We hadn't been out there 10 minutes, and Sue had the first fish of the trip.
Nice job, Sue. It's a darn good thing for that fish. Shore lunch is tomorrow.
And within minutes of that one going back, I looked over and Livy Hopkins had one on.
What you got there, sissy?
A big one, though.
No, hold on.
Oh, yeah. It's in the boat. Look out.
Good job, sis. First walleye of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And while Val was getting Libby's fish off,
Do we got one?
No.
Hey, that's a fish.
There's a fish.
Did we keep it?
Nope. I'm gonna put him back in, okay? You ready? First fish of the day. One down, a few more to go.
we watched daughter Erica release her first fish of the trip and then looked over and daughter Erin had one on.
So make sure he doesn't get away.
Oh. Hey, if you get that in the boat, keep that for lunch, eh? Yep. There you go. Nice job, girl. I thought you said you weren't catching any fish.
We're not. What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yes, you're right. She's just like her mother. Things were obviously going pretty good for a first day. The fish were biting, and most of the adults and even some of the kids were catching on. Miss T decided about then we were going to start bringing our grandkids into our boat one at a time and giving them some of the finer points in walleye fishing. We motored over and got the oldest Ian, put him in the boat with us. You know, friends, when you get a chance to spend some of that quality time, don't pass it up, because you can bet, if nothing else, it's going to be entertaining. We got Ian into our boat, and I motored us back out over a point. He was going to start by fishing a slip bobber rig, and this is a great way, if you've never tried it, of prospecting, of looking for
What do we
fish.
got here? You got fish or you snagged? Got a fish? Huh?
Fish.
Is it a big fish? What is it? Walleye, pike, sauger?
Oh.
What was that? Look at her and say, what?
What?
That was a walleye. What happened there, buddy? Look, he's got one too right there.
Ian's fish had unfortunately gotten off, but when we looked over, Nick, Ian's dad, was hooked up.
Boy, there we go. Got me a walleye. 18-inch walleye.
Nice, caught one.
Huh. Ready to try that again? Yeah. All right, we'll try it again. Nice try. And I saw it. It was a walleye about that long.
After seeing his dad's success, Ian decided he'd like to try a little more traditional jigging.
Got him this time? Don't tell me. Another one got off? Another one? There, he's still on there. You still look, Granny, right there. He's got
It appeared the bite was definitely on. Ian was bringing one in. I looked over. Sue had another great fish.
fish, buddy. Oh, look at that. That is a good old big one. I thought you lost him there for a minute. Ready to put it back? Hey, good job. Give me some slime, man. Here, throw that back out there. Find me another one. Good job, buddy. Just let the kid do it. You know what I mean?
And just in case you think those kids can't do it,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you've never been fishing with Ian.
Look at the size of that one. Yeah, nice job. Over this way, buddy. Over this way.
Woo!
Got a hold of that?
Woo! Wow. Wow.
Nice job, buddy. Hey, here. You are getting it done. You want to put that one back? Here, I'll hold your rod. Put it with this right there. Good job. Look at Grammy. How was that?
How you doing?
It was time to trade. This time, it'd be too cool for school. Katie's turn to fish with Grammy and Pa.
There you go.
And friends, it wasn't long after she got her hands on a jigging rod and
Let's go.
You got a fish, girl.
Onto your fishing
You
reel.
got the walleye on there. Okay, quit reeling. Quit reeling. That's enough.
Okay.
Quit reeling. You let him fight a little bit.
Okay.
Hold
trying to
on.
get right
just,
here.
just slow down.
Whoa. Come up here. Hold on to him.
Don't make me hold on to it.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh, you don't want to hold the fish?
There we go.
You got him.
You got him.
Good job, Katie Bear.
There we go.
I don't want to hold it. I don't.
You don't want to hold it. You caught it. That's a nice fish. You want to take your picture of that fish? Set the rod
There
down.
you go.
Oh, he's gone. Nice job. What happened?
The fish got you.
Yeah, the fish got loose. We were going to eat that one. We're supposed to be saving it for shore lunch.
I'm sorry.
Nice fish, girlfriend. You did it all yourself. That was very good. Would you like to catch another one? Yes?
Yes.
Unfortunately, in no time at all.
We want that fish now. We're going to eat them. Bring it in the boat, Grammy.
Okay.
There.
Bring your pole down.
Thank you, Katie. You caught my lunch. You caught Pa's lunch.
Bring your pole down. Look at Paul.
Thank you. Hey, thank you. Look at that fish. You are a fisher girl. We're going to keep that one, eat them tomorrow for lunch, okay?
Do you have water to keep him alive?
Can we eat that fish?
Yes. See how long it is.
All
See
right.
how long it is? Okay.
16 inches.
16 inches.
I knew it. 16.
16 inches. Good job, girl. Nice fish. You know what that means? Means it's your cousin Kyle's turn.
Caitlin had caught a couple of great fish with Grammy, and now it was Kyle Jr.'s turn to try.
All right, now it's your turn.
Our turn.
Now you get to fish with Grammy. She's the luckiest fisher girl in the world. You know that. You know how I know? She caught me. Look it. He's throwing up in his boat.
Yes, it was time to start
Now
fishing.
I want you to hold it. And hold it with both hands. Put your finger like that. Like this. Like that. Okay, now we let it go down. And I think we've got too much line on. Let's bring some line up, okay?
One of the great things about bringing the kids into the boat with us individually is it gave us a chance to teach them the basic techniques necessary to catch fish like a grown-up, which we all should know is exactly what kids want to do.
Okay, hold on to it.
You got it
Okay.
just a little.
Just a little. Hold on.
Can you
tight.
feel him? Can you feel him? Huh?
Yeah.
That one? Yeah. I ain't seen him yet. Lift the rod up a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, this is lunch right here. Oh, baby.
Oh.
This is what we're looking for. Let me shut the motor off here.
Can I?
Yeah, yeah, bring him in here nice and easy. Not too sure. Okay, just lift your rod. That's reel him in.
Stop getting away from me.
He's not, huh? We're going to eat him?
Yes.
All right, you ready to land him? All right, I think he's tired out. Swing him over here. Got a big fray in it. I can see it from here. Don't break line. We want that fish for lunch. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
How's that? That is your lunch. What do you think, buddy?
Good.
Look at that. Say, give me some lunch, Pa.
And it wasn't just our kids either.
Dad, I got one.
At the same time Kyle was catching one, so was Cole Hopkins.
There you go.
That's
Hey, Smoley. Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Nice fish. Ooh, Mom
hold it?
almost threw him back for you. Good job, buddy. All right, try to bend over the boat and push him back in the water gently.
The fish were definitely biting, and now it was Kai, our oldest granddaughter's turn to fish with the legendary Grammy.
And put it like
Now she could get some of those insider tips and special tricks that only Grammy knows. And speaking of tricks, it was about then I managed to trick Kai out of the rest of her cookie.
Would you hold this? I'll eat your cookie. You take care of that.
Why? That's
Yeah.
too spicy.
That looks like lunch. Why don't you swing that back here? This is a pretty good cookie. You want your cookie back? It was good. I'll set it right there. How about I get this and we'll eat this tomorrow for lunch? That's it? Yeah, we'll keep that one. That's just about 15, 16 inches. That's just about perfect. Put him over here with these other ones. Oh, fish is out. Look out, he's loose. He's loose. What is up,
Where are you going?
Scary.
It's a fish. It ain't a piranha. I thought you can jump out of the boat and get away from the fish.
She's hiding behind me. Where were you going?
Scary.
Now that all the kids, as well as the adults, were catching fish, it was becoming impossible for me to keep up. There were fish flying out of that lake all over the place, and it went on like that for hours. Fortunately, they finally wore down some. Everybody got a little tuckered, decided it was time to go in. We headed for the lodge and a great supper, and I'm pretty sure nobody had trouble sleeping that night. And the very next morning, after a great breakfast in the lodge, we piled back into the boats. This time we were going out looking for pike. The following morning, Ryan Hopkins very kindly volunteered to take some of our group over to where the guys feed table scraps to the wolves, and then caught back up to us, and not long after catching up, his son Cole actually caught the first pike of the morning.
Good job.
And speaking of pike, just before it was time to leave for shore lunch, my son-in-law Chris was hooked up into what looked like a pretty good one.
Oh, there you are. Not a bad looking guy. I wasn't fighting, little man. I'm bringing you up anyway. But still, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, my drag is a little light. Oh, the Air Force does it. 31 1/4. Right here. Alrighty.
Is this how the Air Force does it?
How the Air Force does it. That's how the Air Force does it. See it, Kyle?
Friends, right there's proof. The fishing is so good here, even a son-in-law can catch one from time to time. And speaking of time, it was time to take the Air Force and everybody else to shore lunch, yeah. We were definitely ready for a break. We went over and had a tremendous shore lunch. In fact, the guys had prepared it all. We got there and we all ate ourselves silly. And then we got back in the boats and headed off to Trout Bay. You see, at Esnagami this time of the season, a lot of fish will suspend in 15 to 20 feet of water. So we decided we'd do some trolling with Hottentots and walleye divers. Not only is this a great way to fish with youngsters, it's also a good way to pick up some of the very best fish of the whole season. We were going to spread out a little. T and I actually took Katie Bear and Kyle Jr. in the boat with us just to make a little more elbow room in the other boats. But everybody was headed for more or less the same place. And it wasn't 10 minutes later when I looked over and Liam and Rowan already had a double on.
Hey, I gotta have a coffee. Oh, Leo. Whoa, Rowan. You got a good one down there, too. Yes. Yeah, good. Hang on your pole.
Can I let it go?
Yeah, you got 23.5 inches, Dean.
Yes.
Good job.
There, show Mom and she'll take a picture.
Mommy, please.
Rowan, what do you got there? Oh, you got a nice walleye, too.
Watch your foot. I want to
Okay, hang on.
Bringing them back.
There.
You gonna hold it, bro?
Hold it and let it go. You can't think too long. Here, you can let it go right over here.
Dad, we're gonna go.
You know how to hold it. There. Give me 5. Give me 5.
And about the time the kids were putting theirs back, I heard some laughter and...
We had both caught on the same snag, so we turned the boat off. Apparently, we were wrong. We both went over the same neighborhood, apparently.
And caught a couple of dandy walleye. That's
At the same time, we started reeling in, and I'm like, I think it might be a fish.
You think?
Okay, now we're gonna have to hold them up against each other to see.
I saw you look to make sure yours was bigger first.
We'll give it to the lady.
I think so. I think that's a pair to draw to. Nice job, you two.
Thank you.
And before those fish even made it back in the water, we looked over and Aaron was hooked up.
No.
Reel them up a little more. There you go, right there.
There we
There we
go.
are.
Good work,
That was a
Kai.
nice size walleye.
Thank you for help.
At a 24-inch walleye.
That, friends, is a dandy. I don't care where you're fishing. And even though trolling isn't my favorite way to chase walleye, you certainly couldn't argue with the results we were getting.
Yelling?
Yes.
Look at that, buddy.
What is that?
That is a big walleye.
Yes.
Good job.
You want to put it back? Yeah? All right.
We caught some tremendous fish that afternoon. I'm talking 25, 27 inches, fish over 8, 10 pounds, some of them walleye. And when you put fish that big on the line of a youngster, well, you can't help but get a few laughs out of watching them crank and listening to them squeal. It was a near perfect day of fishing as far as I was concerned. The only issue I had with it at all was knowing that tomorrow would be our last day. I had scheduled this trip to be fairly short, primarily because of the youngsters. And in the morning, we decided, we're going to go our own way. It was bright. It was sunny. We were just going to go out and kind of do our own thing and enjoy our last day at Esnagami. And that last day, the fishing was just as good as it had been the first two. It was bright. It was sunny, really quite hot. You're not supposed to be able to catch walleye when it's like that. Fortunately, for us anyway, nobody bothered to tell the fish up at Esnagami Lodge.
Nicely done, Kai.
Friends, I have stood right here for better than 15 years, and I have asked you many, many times, please take your kids fishing. Now, I got to be honest, it is a little more work. It's a little more planning, especially if you take a group the size that Tia and I did, but the rewards are so great. If you take your kids to a place like Esnagami Lodge, you're going to have such a good time. One of our young ladies on this trip actually told her folks, Mom, this is the best family trip we have ever done. It's even better than going to Disneyland. Well, there you have it, herding cats. 24 people, 10 of them under the age of 12 on a fishing trip, and it was one of the best trips of the whole season. We caught tremendous fish, huge walleye, great pike. We had such a great time. I truly need to thank our host and hostess, Eric and Sue Lund, their kids, everybody up at Esnagami Lodge. The guides were so patient with the kids, the staff in the dining room, the help in the cabins, the cook. Everybody did what it took to make this a great trip. And I certainly want to thank, too, the folks that shared it. The Morgans, all of their family, the Hopkins, certainly all of my family, the Lilies, the Petermans, and all of the great kids who went and just enjoyed it and made this trip so memorable. Miss T and I are already looking forward to going back next year. And friends, if this is something that appeals to you, call up Eric and book yourself a trip with your family. They're going to put forth the same effort, show you the same great care and fishing that we saw. And you never know, we might see you up there. And if we do, well, you can bet we're going to stop and share a shore lunch and a cup, maybe a few fishing stories. And if we don't see you up there, friends, well, then I truly hope to see each and every one of you right back here for another adventure from my wilderness journal. Thanks again, Eric and Sue, everybody up at Esnagami. We had a tremendous trip.